Class 10 students, this is class 10, subject chemistry, chapter number 6 and title of chapter is electrolysis. The syllabus of electrolysis class 10 chemistry chapter is as follow: electrolyte, non-electrolyte, definitions and examples, substance containing molecules only, ions only, and those substance which contains molecules and ion both. Definition and explanation of electrolysis: electrolyte, electrode, anode, cathode, anion, cation, oxidation, reduction on the basis of loss or gain of electron. An elementary study of migration of ions with reference to the factor influencing selective discharge of ion, and reference should be made to the activity series. The activity series we have studied in class 8 and 9. Electrolysis of molten lead bromide, acidified water with platinum electrode, aqueous copper sulfate with active and inert electrode. The above electrolytic process can be studied in terms of electrolyte used, electrodes used, ionization reaction, anode reaction, cathode reaction, use of selective discharge theory as it is necessary. Application of electrolysis is also studied in this chapter. So class 10 student, let us go deep into this class 10 chemistry chapter 6 and electrolysis. I have also provided you the PDF of this chapter, and the syllabus which I have just read is given here. Students, as you always know that I generally paint my mouse cursor with yellow color, so please follow the cursor. Now these are the syllabus points I have just read. Students, most of you have some books, so please go through the book and please go through the video as many times as you can, because in science chemistry is the subject which will help you to score good and very good marks. If your chemistry is good, then your science is good, and after that you can study towards engineering or medical. Now class, please check the introduction process. This chapter deals with electrolysis and what is actually electrolysis. Now the word electrolysis is made up of two words: electro means flow of electrons, and lysis means separation. Many substances allow electricity to pass through them and many do not allow to pass through them. It has been found that all the substances that allow passage of electricity do not undergo chemical change. Now students, we have 3-4 conditions here. First condition, a substance is not allowing the electricity to pass. Now the matter stops here. If the substance allow electricity to pass, then there are two conditions. If by passage of electricity the substance undergo chemical change or do not go under any chemical change. In this chapter we will study about those substances which allow electric to pass through them and there is also a chemical change. Now look this. Most metallic elements like copper, aluminum, iron and alloy, they allow electricity to pass, but there is no chemical change. Therefore they are called conductors. Conductors means the substance which allow electricity to pass through them. And there are some substances which are called insulator or non-conductors because they do not allow electricity to pass through them. Now conduction of current by a conductor is due to flow of electrons, and insulator do not possess mobile electron or free electron. Chemical compounds behave differently when electric current is passed through them. Some compound conduct electricity in aqueous state or molten state, but not in solid state. Please pay attention, but not in solid state. The passage of electric current through copper chloride solution decomposes to a metallic copper and chlorine. Now students, I have discussed here the three conditions. Please pay attention to this. This actually is obeying the third condition. It means the copper chloride allow the electric to pass and it also decomposes. Then it is the case of electrolysis. Such chemical compounds which conduct electricity are called electrolyte. Some compounds do not conduct electricity, they are called non-electrolyte. So students, we will go to next page and check this definition. Chemical decomposition of chemical compound can be brought by electric current. This electric current is actually DC current, battery current. Now this is called electrolysis. Table 6.1 in the left hand side of your screen gives the difference between metallic conductor and electrolytic conductor. Students, please memorize the table and go through this, because these questions are generally asked in exam. Now, metallic conductor consists of flow of single stream of electron, but electrolytic conductor consists of two stream. Please check two stream. In this single stream, this is two stream, positive and negative two stream. Now, metallic conductor is property of metal. Electrolytic conductor is property of generally electrovalent compound. Covalent compound are not electrolyte. Metal both in solid and liquid state are good conductor, but electrolyte are not good conductor in solid state, only in molten or liquid state. No change in solid conductor is occurred and new products are formed in electrolysis. Now let us see some definition and examples. Going to this definition, electrolysis. It is the process of decomposition of chemical compound in an aqueous solution or in molten state accompanied by chemical change. Students, please memorize. Electrolysis means two necessary conditions: passage of electric current and there is a chemical change. If any of them is absent, then electrolysis is not happening. Electrolytes are compounds which allow electric current to pass and they undergo chemical change. Examples of electrolytes are given in the left hand side of your screen. Acid, base and salts, these are actually electrolytes. Now electrolytes are of generally two types. First, a strong electrolyte, and second, weak electrolyte. Now we have seen electrolyte, and just opposite of electrolyte is non-electrolyte. Non-electrolyte do not allow chemical current, not allow electric current to pass, and they also do not show chemical change. Now strong and weak electrolytes are very easy to understand. Please check this table. A strong electrolyte produces large amount of iron. Weak electrolyte a small amount of iron. Now a strong electrolyte are very good conductor of electric. Weak electrolyte are poor conductor of electric. A strong electrolyte completely dissociate. It means they produces very large amount of iron. They partially decompose. Now this contain only iron. This contain iron and molecule. Students, please memorize one line. Ions are good conductor of electricity. Molecules are bad conductor of electricity. Ions are good conductor of electricity and molecules are bad conductor of electricity. So in any solution, the amount of iron is greater, then this is very good conductor. If the amount of molecule is greater, then that is not a good conductor. Now students, please check these examples. So going to this box, we can see this note box. All salts are strong electrolyte because they are generally electrovalent or ionic compound. They form acidic or basic or neutral solution after complete dissociation. Some salts which are generally more volatile than a strong salt and salt which do not dissociate completely are weak electrolyte. Now this is the mathematical formula of degree of dissociation. This formula you will study in class 11 and 12, so this is out of syllabus. But check this, number of molecules dissociate by total number of molecules into 100%. This is called alpha, and this is used in numerical calculation in chemistry in class 11 and 12. Students, please check this example of ionization or electrolytic dissociation of acid. Every acid, every salt, every base will decompose and produce positive and negative ion. If positive and negative ions are not produced, then that is not an electrolyte. Check this HCl producing plus and minus, HNO3 producing plus and minus, sulfuric acid producing plus and minus, acetic acid producing plus and minus, formic acid producing plus and minus. Similarly, in case of base, it is also producing plus and minus. This NaOH producing plus and minus. You can see everywhere, if plus and minus ions are produced, then it is electrolyte. If plus and minus ions are not produced, that is not electrolyte. Next point is electrolytic cell or voltameter. Now electrolytic cell and voltameter is nothing but the vessel. This vessel is called electrolytic cell, or this vessel is called a voltameter. So the voltameter or electrolysis cell is a vessel in which electrolysis process is carried out. It means use of DC battery current is done here, and in this vessel only electrolysis is done. Next point is electrochemical cell. Electrochemical cell is nothing but a DC battery which convert chemical energy to electrical energy. Students, you have read about this Daniell cell and voltaic cell in physics in class 8. Now next point is electrode. Electrodes are metal plate, point, wire or anything from which electric goes or comes from the solution. In this figure you can see these are actually two electrodes. This is one electrode, this is one electrode. This electrode is minus, so it is called cathode. This is plus, so this is called anode. Now students, going to this definition, anode is a positive terminal and cathode is a negative terminal. So when current is turned on, the cathode becomes negative electrode by which electrons enter the cell, and anode becomes positive electrode by which electrons leave the electrolyte. So this is the difference between the anode and cathode. Now ions are also defined. Ions are atoms or group of atoms which carry positive or negative charge. Ions are charged species of atoms. Next point we will see is the difference between cation and anion. Now students, please look, this is cation, this is anion. Cation are positively charged ion which goes towards cathode. Anions are negatively charged ion which goes towards anode during electrolysis. Cathode gain electron and anion, cation gain electron and anion lose electron. Now next point is oxidation and reduction. Students, please recall, I have taught you these points in class. Oxidation means loss of electron. You can see zinc losing electron, sodium losing electron, iron losing electron. It means oxidation is a process in which addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen is taking place. It means loss of electron. Now check the example of oxidation. Now carbon is gaining oxygen, magnesium is gaining oxygen. So gain of oxygen here is actually oxidation. Similarly, hydrogen sulfide is losing its hydrogen here. You can see H2S. Now this is only S. It means it has lost hydrogen. So this is also called the process of oxidation. Next is oxidizing agent. An oxidizing agent that oxidizes other substance by either accepting electron or by providing oxygen or an electronegative ion. So oxidizing agent oxidizes other things but get reduced itself. Now we also recall that in the last chapter of class 9 chemistry these were discussed. So students, please refer to class 9 book also. Examples of oxidizing agents are given: solid, liquid and gas. So students, please memorize this. Opposite of oxidation is actually reduction. Reduction is gain of electron. You can see copper gaining electron, iron gaining electron, sulfur gaining electron. So gain of electron is actually reduction. Now reduction can be also defined opposite to oxidation. It means removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen. You can see here this contains CuO, but this O is lost. You can see here this is reduction. This ZnO lost oxygen. You can see here. Similarly, gain of hydrogen is also reduction. You can see this is chlorine. This gains hydrogen and becomes HCl. This is chlorine. This gains hydrogen. This becomes HCl. So we can see that this process is nothing but reduction. Now next point is reducing agent. So a reducing agent is one that reduces other substance by providing electrons or by providing hydrogen or electropositive ion. Some examples of reducing agents are also given. So students, please memorize these as you have memorized the oxidizing agent effectively. Next point in this particular topic is theory of electrolytic dissociation. We will cover it in great detail. Theory of electrolytic dissociation. Svante Arrhenius, a Nobel Prize winner scientist from European origin, gave ionic theory. There are actually 6 points. We will cover it. An electrolyte on dissolving in water dissociate into free mobile ions that are cations and anions and allows the flow of an electric current through it. All ions carry electric charge and are responsible for flow of current through the solution. The conductivity of electrolyte depends upon the concentration of ions in the solution. The number of positive charge is equal to number of negative charge in the solution, and this equilibrium, that is balance, is established between unionized molecule and ions. In non-electrolyte such as sugar solution, benzene, there is no ionization, only molecules are present, so they are bad conductor of electricity. The degree of dissociation is the extent to which an electrolyte dissociate or break up into ion. Now there is a difference between modern theory and Arrhenius theory. Both are nearly same but minor difference. Arrhenius consider water ionized electrolyte, but modern concept consider that electrolyte are ionic even in solid state and their ions are held by a strong electrostatic force of attraction which make them immobile. Water renders these ions mobility by breaking the electrostatic force. It means these electrostatic force of attraction which binds the molecule is weakened by water because water has very high dielectric constant. Now, what is dielectric constant? You will study about dielectric constant in class 11-12 physics. Next point is conduction in compound. The covalent compound consists of oppositely charged ion and in hence solid state such as sodium chloride molecule. They cannot conduct electricity because they are bounded very strongly despite the fact they contain iron. When electrovalent compounds are melted or dissolved in water, their bonds are broken and they become good conductor of electricity. The covalent compound, which are generally polar in nature, cannot conduct electricity. Now, what are the requirement or property of electrolysis? Let us see one by one. There are total 7 points. The passage of electricity through an electrolyte causes positive charge, that is cation migrate to cathode, and negative charge, that is anion goes toward anode. Number of electrons gained by anode is equal to number of electrons lost by cathode. The product of electrolysis are formed at anode and cathode itself because exchange of electrons takes place at this point only. Only hydrogen gas and metals are liberated at cathode, so they are called electropositive element. Only non-metals are liberated at anode, so they are called electronegative element. The mass of substance produced at an electrode during electrolysis is proportional to quantity of electricity passing through the electrolyte and the time also. This is called Faraday law of electrolysis. More about Faraday law of electrolysis is in class 11 chemistry. The process of electrolysis is a redox reaction. It means number of electrons lost is equal to number of electrons gained. So let us check this example. Dissociation of sodium chloride molecule into ions. Now this Na is positively charged cation, so it goes to cathode. Look at this cathode. This Na goes to cathode, gains one electron. This becomes Na, neutral Na. Process is called reduction because there is gain of electron. This Cl minus has excess electron. It goes to anode, loses electron, become neutral Cl. Process of loss of electron is oxidation. Overall reaction is given. Now, alternating current does not cause any chemical change. Hence, in electrolysis, AC current is not used. Always battery current is used. Next point is electrolytic dissociation. The process due to which ionic compound dissociate or breaks into ion is called electrolytic dissociation. Look at the example of sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is an electrovalent compound. Its crystal structure contains sodium ion and chlorine ion. These are sodium and chloride ion. Now they have very strong force of attraction. Now they are in solid state, not a good conductor of electricity. When water is mixed or aqueous solution is made, you can see this is the breakup line. It means water weakens the bond. You can see in molten state or in aqueous solution, this strong bond is weakened. Now ions are free, they become mobile and they conduct electricity. There are certain covalent compounds which are not made up of iron but form ion when they dissolve in water. This solution conducts electric current. Now the process by which polar covalent compounds are converted into ions in water solution is called ionization. For example, HCl. In gaseous state or in liquid state, HCl is unionized, hence it is bad conductor of electricity. But When it is made to liquid form or water is added, you can see slightly delta positive and negative charge are acquired. So they are actually dipole molecule. We have studied about dipole molecule in great detail. Now this in liquid state or aqueous solution conducts electricity. So let us compare the process of ionization and dissociation. Now formation of positively or negatively charged ions is called ionization, remember, which are not initially in ionic state. Now dissociation is separation of ion in which ions are already present. Ionization process, ions are not present. Dissociation, ions are always present. Polar covalent compound shows ionization. Polar covalent compound do not show dissociation. Electrovalent compound show dissociation. Electrovalent compound do not show ionization. In this process, we will greatly detail. We will check about the electrolysis process. So I will come back with another video. Till then, please revise the syllabus. Please replay the video as many times as you can, because it will help you. Till then, good luck. Bye bye.